All right, are we ready? Are we on this?
Yeah, what we talking about?
All right, I don't know. Social Brew Podcast, we're here. Now we're started, we're recorded. We have a live audience. Make some noise. We're in the building. We got our cousin back.
We have our cousin back, one of our Social Proof Podcast best friends.
Yeah, man.
Co-host.
The tri-host. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Can we make it a thing?
Yeah, for sure. These boots are doing something, Donnie.
Are the boots doing something?
Go back to the main angle. Yeah. Round of applause for that little side
Trey, if you're watching this, make sure this gets picked for the thumbnail, okay?
Okay.
We gotta sell some shows around here.
All right, so a couple things happened between our last conversation. One, your outfitting.
I look a little better.
It's doing something. You've been vegan.
Yeah.
Right? What else you have going on?
Working out. Had a team retreat with my company. I'm becoming a better leader. Yeah. Things are progressing pretty good right now.
Did that make social media? Your team retreat with the
You know what?
company?
When does that ain't get loaded yet? But I think it's gonna get loaded soon.
I think it's really important for people to see that part of you, because we see you so much in the field, we see you so much teaching, but we don't really see you leading from a CEO perspective. And I think this is going to be a good open window to see that part. And you've been talking about openly and transparently your struggles.
Yes.
With that, for sure.
Yes.
Good. What have you learned from your retreat?
I learned about my staff. I learned a lot, man. First, it was just great to spend 2 full days with our team, about 12 hours each day. You know, it's hard to pin me down more than an hour. Yeah. I stayed the whole time. Just learning how to lead better, learning what people are actually working on, because I got a tendency like, yo, get more done, and have no clue how much they're actually working on.
Yeah.
And that almost made me not feel like rushing into the office, Donnie, honestly, because I'm like, yo, if you do that once a quarter and they're all on the same page, they're on fire right now. I still won't probably do the office, but I mean, they're like, that team retreat, you got to do that twice a year or quarterly. And I think it makes a huge difference.
I think the office is still necessary because imagine compounding and maximizing those results. Like if you could do that on a weekly basis. Daily basis. But even with the office, I think retreats are very important. Yeah. I learned that kind of from the MLM industry. Like you have your weekly meetings and your daily meetings and mixers that you do, and it keeps you kind of in the game and growing. But everybody looks forward to those retreats that happen, especially if you put some type of an incentive on it. Like this goal or this metric is what we're looking to hit in order to do the Tulum retreat or the Costa Rica retreat, and everybody's productivity just shoots up. And we just did it at the new place we just picked up, so it's even better. So I'm doing all my masterminds at my own spot now. So. Where's this at?
This is the new house we talked about.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's in Buckhead. So.
Oh, so it's a deal. Okay. Well, I know. I didn't know that you closed.
Yeah.
Okay, so you closed. Ago. All right, and you've already cracked it open.
It's up at Circle CEO Mastermind there. I had a retreat there. That's where we filming the podcast. Sorry, we gotta leave the studio where we going.
It's all good. I ain't mad. You should.
You'll be there tomorrow. But
is it tomorrow?
Yes.
He's going out of town.
I thought he was gonna be here.
No, we talked about this already, man.
No, we didn't. You said, yo, can we record the podcast tomorrow? I said, yeah.
We're going to do it at the new spot, though, bro. You got to get the whole experience.
All right, well, let's do it next week. I'll be in town next week.
Come on, man. You had me put
Let's
this on the
next
schedule,
week.
Bro.
But you didn't tell me it was at your space.
It's 10 minutes from here, bro.
I know.
What's the difference, Shans?
Right.
You got to mentally prepare to go to a different space?
Well, I didn't know where it was at, honestly.
But does it matter?
My driver will pick you up with you here. And
light flags.
Hey, light flags.
Light flags. Is it the drive that inconveniences you? My people will pick you up.
Yeah, for sure. All right, yeah, so we'll do it.
Now that there's a driver involved.
And I know he likes food.
He's trying to
I'm not going to park my
incentivize.
car, No, I'm not doing it. I'll drive there. I'll be there. It's all good. Okay. Yo, real quick. All of your team, they're where? Different states, right?
Yep.
Did you fly them in?
Yep.
Did you pay for that?
Pay for everything. It's been a dime. Pay for everything. Pay for their flights.
Chef,
everything.
Striker?
No, I didn't go striker. I go striker when I gotta go crazy.
Okay.
I went somebody else. I went the guy we used that day for the summit.
So you don't go crazy for the team?
You don't go yes.
No,
I
go crazy for the team, but when you go striker, he crack you in your head.
Striker crazy.
I called him one day. He said I think he was doing something.
First of all, I got a bone to pick with you.
Oh, let's talk about that.
Oh, I got a bone to pick with you.
What did I do?
All right, so you guys. We have a few chefs that we circulate through our network, and I choose to work with Chef Stryker to do my mom's birthday brunch, right? Or it was a birthday dinner. And my mom and I live in the same condo building. Stryker arrives, he's calling me, and I say, hey, go. He's texting, and I said, hey, just go to my mom's unit. I'm still getting dressed. I'll be there momentarily. Well, he has an issue with parking, and so I'm calling him to make sure he's good because it's been a minute since I heard from him, and he's answering the phone. He's frazzled. Hey, yeah, I'm parking now. I'll be up in just a second. Will there be a cart to get my things? Like, he's really kind of like frazzled and worked up. He gets upstairs. I open the door to my mom's spot. It's a vibe. She's got her music, her old school R&B playing. I can smell the smells coming. Stryker's cooking it up. I walk in the house and I say, I'm home. Yeah. And Stryker freezes. Yeah. Hey, how are you? Stryker, we know each other. We've done this before. What have we done? Hey, how are you? We're going to have everything laid out. I'm just getting everything prepared and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, that energy is weird. So we're just moving. What I gotta do with this? We're moving throughout the day. An hour or so goes by and Stryker's working. He hustling. He's sweating. And I'm like, Stryker, let me help you. Like, guests haven't arrived yet. Let me help you get everything laid out. No. Don't touch anything. I got it. This is your experience. Enjoy it. Stryker, damn. Let me help you. It's foil. He says to me later that day, Donni, this is not the experience I thought I would have here. In fact, I was dreading this job today because Neo called me and he said, you doing a job for Donni today, right? Oh, you better be on your P's and Q's. Donni don't play. She's going to let you know if she doesn't like something. She's tough. Yes. She's hard on people. Like, make sure you dot all I's and cross all T's. You had Stryker so scared to come and work with me. And it ended up being that dinner was being served at 3. Stryker arrived at 1. Stryker did not leave until after midnight.
Dang.
He hung out all day with me, my mom, and my family because he said this felt like family for him. It felt like being around family that he misses and all that. He said this was hands down the best environment that he'd been in on a job. And he's like, I'm going to tell Neo, get out of my head.
Dang.
Oh, we made him feel like family. All right. Stryker, I said, Stryker, pour up.
Yeah.
By the end of the night, he drinking Hennessy with my uncle.
Ain't no drinking on a job with me.
He was off the clock. He was off the clock, and I just wanted him to enjoy himself. And but you had Stryker so fearful, and it brought me to think about what y'all be in these streets telling people, and why everybody thinks I'm so mean or so difficult. I know why people who affiliate with David think so, because in our relationship, I'm the bad guy.
Yeah.
If there's somebody to be fired, if there's somebody to be disciplined, if there's a hard conversation, I have to have it. So everybody in our circle thinks, oh, I would rather talk to Dave. I bet you would.
Yeah. Y'all
don't know that Dave is behind the scenes pulling the strings. I'm just his puppet out there executing. Right.
I'll say something like, I mean, it's kind of out of my hands. Donni, she's, you know, Donni. I ain't nothing I can do about it.
I'll say this though. What I do is, like, I just like to give people a disclaimer. Like, whoever, when you're working with some of my friends, I like to just let you know how they are.
Yeah.
So you know, don't come. You can't go there late. It's gonna be a problem.
It would have been.
When you get Marcus, Alex, I'm like, listen to me. They will be the best clients you ever get. Do not mess it up. If you lock them in, they will stay forever. I give everybody that. So now they know, oh, let me not fool with these.
So what are you talking about me? A Stryker came to the crib.
I don't even, you too cheap, so you ain't going, I won't send these type people.
We don't refer the same people to you.
I work with Stryker.
Yeah. I had to give you somebody else on the scale.
I work with Stryker though.
How many people did Stryker cook for you?
It was like 4 of us.
How was the dinner? You had the lamb chops?
First of all, we had lamb chops. We had the cracked open sliced Alaskan king crab legs that was like this big.
Ooh, you snapped.
I asked him to, first of all, my budget is different than yours. So we did the lamb chops. We did the
not how much you make, guys.
Alaskan king crab. We did the crab cake with a special request not to use any mayonnaise. He did a short rib. He did his string beans, his greens. He did his mashed potatoes, his corn. He did his dessert. There were 11 of us.
And Donni particular about food.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I sent him pictures of everything. I need it to look just like this.
Dang.
I took the pictures from his page. This is the juicy, succulent. He made us a fresh cucumber lemonade. Stryker offered me when I got there. I was hot. My mom's place was hot. She never has the air on. She lives up in the sun. And I was like, God, it's hot. So he pushed this cup of water in my face. Stryker, where'd that water come from? Oh, no. Neo already told me. It came from a bottle. Okay. Yeah. I need to see said bottle. Yeah, but it was a good time. Stryker did an amazing job. Shout out to Stryker Eats, I think, on Instagram.
You a crazy plug. You owe us equity on this plug, my guy.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yo, real quick, I want to get back to like your retreat.
Yeah.
And can we give Andrew a mic? Because I want to hear his perspective.
Oh gosh.
No, I'm sure it'd be good. It'd be good, right?
Oh, I would assume so.
You hope so?
I know so.
All right. Andrew,
I've really been improving
arrogant,
across the board. So if somebody tell me I ain't improving, I'm really improving.
So let's hear. Will we be able to see? We can see Drew, right?
While we're doing that, I just have to admire how Neo is like matchy today.
He's fresh,
head to toe. Fresh. He got on the Black-owned brand up top, Burberry at the bottom.
Go crazy.
He combed his hair today. Yep. Like, you really combed your hair. Because Neo just he be fingering his hair like he just frazzles it. You know what I mean?
Sideline is roast.
Neo got everything going for it. The jeans fitting.
Yeah, you doing something.
See the Prezi?
I see the Prezi.
Go crazy. Yeah. How do you feel?
Sound like.
Because people started attacking me based on that post you made.
That's good. They need to.
All I said was
we need to do another post like the Minnesota post. Yo, we gotta start pulling them type clips. That went crazy.
Which one? What you mean?
When we talked about that went semi-viral. Like, yo, you live in Minnesota.
Oh yeah. They were going ham on you for that. People were. I didn't know so many people lived in Minnesota.
But there were some people that's like, yo, I moved from Cleveland. He's right. Like,
he's right.
Yeah.
Sabrina, Get Up Par, somebody. It's a lot of people moving.
Yeah. Neo, what's the best thing that's happening for you as a CEO right now?
Developing as a leader. I'm really putting some emphasis on it. It's like I lost somebody in my company, and she was running the whole company. She was doing an amazing job. And I didn't really see that. So when you get that hole in now I'm doing meetings. Y'all know I hate meetings. I don't want to meet about nothing. But now I'm really being conscious of everything. We got all these different departments, and just thinking another 3 to 6 months, it'll be like.
So you were motivated to become a better leader by losing somebody because you weren't the best leader you could be?
Yep.
Yeah. So now that you're becoming a better leader, have you called her and said, come back, please?
I have not yet.
Do you intend to?
Probably not.
Did they want too much money?
No, the money. I was giving her like $150, $160.
Why she leave?
Paying her I be paying people right.
I remember you telling me about her. Why did she end up leaving?
I think because leadership. I think she was really running the company. But I just wasn't active like I should be. I'm just running stuff like I was just a marketer in the company when I got to be the CEO.
Yeah.
But now I'm like being the CEO of the company. I'm still a marketer. I want to really do what I do. So we're just hiring more people to fill these executive leadership roles.
Gotcha.
So I can focus on my best, the things that I'm actually good at.
I love it. Drew, from your experience from the retreat.
The retreat was very much needed, especially, I'm not going to lie, Neo as a leader beforehand.
Terrible.
It was rough, right? There was no communication. There was.
He's getting better.
This is me being truthful. Yeah. There's no communication on anything. I was getting last minute calls, but.
You still probably get them now.
Right.
It's been better, but there's more communication, like more understanding on what we as a media team do behind the scenes. Like we're putting hours and hours on editing, which he didn't really realize until we got to actually communicate that. And after he got his leadership coach as well, it's been night and day different.
You got a leadership coach?
It's like what was happening in December will never, it doesn't seem like it will happen again. Because I'm not going to be, like, I was on the verge of leaving, right? I'm going to be honest right here. But I did see the change, and it makes me want to stay and, do my work because that change was there.
Yeah. Drew said ain't no amount of money worth how he was treating me. The
only reason I made the comment terrible.
Flaming me now.
Look, the only reason I made the comment. The only reason I made the comment terrible because he said it, and it was really cool to actually hear him say, "Yo, I need to improve. Like I need to improve," and he come ask questions like, "Yo, you think like how can I like treat people better?" And we have like conversations, and to see it. Him developing is awesome, but literally he sought out how to become better in that space. So I think that was amazing, man.
I'm really interested to hear about your leadership coaching. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I got 2 people that helped me. So one that everybody know, J.O. So J.O. came to the retreat, spoke. So I talked with J.O. just about
Justin Owens.
Justin Owens about things that I should be doing, how to be communicating. Then I got my guy, Demetrius Walker. He's play a huge role in just helping me become a better leader, even with marriage stuff. He just know what to say. Like I'm talking about an effective communicator. I'm like, bro, how you say it like that?
What's his name?
Demetrius. I don't know if I introduced
you. What's Instagram?
Meet the Emperor.
Meet the Emperor, okay.
Yeah, you got to get with my man. He's solid, bro. Right. They got a group called Lovepreneur, so it's around like relationship stuff. But he just been helping our company, talking to all the staff, like, yo, bro, you got to do this better. That thing been working. I'm telling you, that leadership. I'm reading John Maxwell, 21 Laws or something about a leader too. So I've just been really putting a lot of information, but just really being conscious of what I'm saying, what I'm not saying, what I should be doing, how to communicate with the team. Because, I'm just a driver. We just going to go work. You know what I mean?
Is it the Irrefutable Laws of Leadership?
Yeah.
John Maxwell. That book is right now. Powerful. Yeah. Everybody should get that. The Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. What have you seen just in what you've been doing so far in the last month has been the biggest mistake you were making before?
Really not showing up to the meetings, not knowing what's all my team. Our team has grown probably like 20 plus people now, right? Maybe 30 really. I don't know, but our team is growing. Media team now, like 8 people now. It was like, I feel good about that team. But really understanding what we got going on, really mapping out what the next 6 months look like. So now we not just, they know what our April looks like right now. It's very clear. Here's all the events we have. Here's what needs to go out. So just now, and I'm still last minute, but getting better with forecasting, like, yo, here's what we got in a month. Here's what we got in 2 months. That's one thing. Big mistake. Big mistake, I really say not going to the meetings, I think. Not showing up and knowing I don't want to know everything, but right now I'm knowing about every department.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing too. On. That's amazing that you can even recognize that there's an issue, right? I think all of us as entrepreneurs, we're just trying to build.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of taking some time to focus on one area that's just not right. You know what I mean? And like really focusing on that. And I'm always trying to figure out, okay, where is the hole? Not in the business per se, which is also a good question to ask yourself, but in terms of myself and my ability to, there's a couple of my ability to lead, my ability to keep creating a culture, my ability to keep people inspired, my ability to manage certain things. Like this is one thing that I'm on right now. If someone sends me something long, like a text or email, I'll just not read it. You know what I mean?
Same.
I'll just not read it. Yeah. But now I'm looking to be more intentional because it literally will take 60 seconds out of my life. So I have to consciously say, okay, I'm going to sit here and read this. In 60 seconds, I got it done. Or I don't reply to a lot of text messages, not because I don't want to reply, but I won't know exactly what to say. But the reason I don't know exactly what to reply to is because I just didn't think of, okay, what's my reply going to be? So now I'm being more intentional to say, okay, let me reply with something. So these little 30-second, 60-second, 90-second gaps, if unattended to, they turn into major issues. So
you know what I'm laughing at right now as you're saying this? So I thought I made a commitment to do better in my response time. Like, I'd be feeling so bad. People will text and I'll look like, dang, I ain't replied to them in weeks. I'm really, really bad at responding to text messages. And it's because I get distracted so easily. Like, I might have every intention to respond and then I get another notification and it's you and it's something I have to jump on right now, or I'm not in the headspace to deal with it, or I have a bad habit of just opening, like my phone is mounted when I'm driving, but I'll just tap it to see what it is and I forget to go back to it. So this weekend, I was at a speaking engagement and I got 3 text messages that I just remembered while you were sitting here talking. And I said, hey, I told them all, do me a favor and reply to this thread so I have an unchecked notification and I remember to come back and reply. I have not replied. I forgot because now the notification is so far down in my text messages that I've forgotten. And I will say this, like, it's something that it's a disgusting habit that I have created. I used to reply to everything. And then I went through this phase of protect your energy and don't be available for everything and put your phone away. And especially when I was like dating in a relationship, it was like, put your phone away and let's be here in the moment. So then my messages started to get behind and I'm like, now it's a thing, but I'm missing out by not replying. I'll go back into messages and it's somebody like, oh, I was reaching out because I had this opportunity. And I'm like, dang it. And don't send me a voice note over 15 seconds.
Oh, man.
I'm not listening to it. We have a friend, George.
Hurt your heart.
Yeah. Bro.
George Achiampong sent us like a 3-minute voice note.
Wow, bro.
You know what's so crazy when it's 3 minutes? If it go by 1 minute, you got to start it over because your phone black out.
Yo.
So now you got to hear that joint again.
Yo, and then don't let them send another message while you're listening to it because it starts over. And so me and Dave both in a very joking but serious way say, yo, I told him like your voice notes are stressing me out. And so then he decides, well, I'm just going to send y'all 15 seconds.
Which is just as bad.
Yo, bro. If I open a text thread and I see a line up of 15-second voice notes, I immediately start to feel weak.
Right.
I can't even entertain. I'm going to pick the one in the middle and hope that you got to your point, and that's the only part that I'm responding to.
You know what's interesting? I love sending voice notes, but I hate getting them.
Same.
Like, I'll send you a voice note, but text me back if you don't mind.
I'm the same way. Text me back, I can't. But I tell everybody, text me back, I can't listen to anything. I'm with a client. I can't listen. I'm with a client.
You told me that. You say that a lot to me. Yo, that's crazy. I was like, I ain't never met nobody with so many clients. You just always.
I got 4 whole clients and I'm like, text me back. I'm with a client, can't listen. I hate, like, it's a feature that could go away as far as I'm concerned. I wish we were still at the point where we could only send a video note real quick. Hey, I just wanted to send you this video real quick to let you know. You could only send 30 seconds or the video wouldn't go through.
You know,
that's a hack though. You know how to really just stand out? I send people video note messages.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You'll change, especially just you met somebody at a conference, hit them with a video note.
Yeah,
you just thinking about somebody you haven't checked on. You should hit Dan Cathy with that.
Yeah.
These people aren't getting those messages at that level
that's real.
I be banging people with that. You know, they love that crap.
They do.
Man, I really appreciate that.
They do. I don't use it regularly.
12 seconds.
The only time I really use it, and I'm going to start, the only time I really use it is every now and then in my text group. I'll send a video because nobody ever thinks it's me sending the text messages. So like on the weekends, I'm like, what's up, y'all? It's Donni. Yes, it's actually me. That you know, and that really gets people going. But now, so like I was teaching about networking this past weekend. And one thing that I love to do when I'm networking with people or I've met somebody is instead of just getting the phone number, you know, we initiate that text thread right then and there, but we take a selfie. And you put the selfie in that text thread to remember who it is. But to your point, even like, you know, those connections that you say, yeah, let's get together so we can blah, blah, blah. How many times do you come back and say, what did we say we were going to do? Yeah. Like, what if in that time, in real time, you just did a quick 30-second video? Like, all right, now we said this is what we're working on this year. And you drop that in the thread, and it's just that other step, just that other confirmation step that helps you do what you said you were going to do.
What's a networking no-no? I know that was a book you had. What's a networking no-no?
There's a million of them.
One of your biggest ones that may be a pet peeve.
Trying to impress people. Like if you meet somebody and they're trying to impress you with all the stuff that they do and all the business that the money they make. Yeah, bro, I don't care. And I think you're lying. So for my I think honestly, I really learned this the first time I ever read How to Win Friends and Influence People, that people don't really care about you and they want to talk about themselves. So I think this is like my start. And I don't know how old I was. I was young. But this is my start of getting to know people and asking them questions, because I feel like in this back and forth, if you don't talk enough, you're not going to like me. So if I talk, and you don't get a chance to kind of share who you are, you're not really going to have a good first engagement. However, if I let you talk for 30 minutes and I might have said a few words, you'll leave that conversation saying, yo, that was a really good conversation. I didn't really say anything. You did all the talking, but you felt good because you got to get your bars off, right?
Yeah. So
that has been I was at a conference one time. I'll never forget it. This had to be 15 years ago. And there was he said it was one question you need to ask in your engagement with somebody that will open up the floodgates for them to just start talking and just like let go, right? So they said the question is, when they ask, when you ask, hey, what do you do? Right? They'll tell you whatever they do. He said, here was the question. He said, always ask, wow, how did you get into that? That is good for another 10, 15 minutes, because everybody's got a backstory on how they became a marketer, right? Yo, you a coach? Oh, that's what's up. Yo, how you get into coaching? Mm-hmm. And it's not going to be like, well, I set up a website. It's like, yo, I had this one client, right? And I had this one friend and I was just telling them da-da-da-da. And they'll start talking, and then you ask one more question. That is a 20-minute conversation, and they're going to leave saying, yo, I really enjoyed that interaction with that person.
And people love to tell their story. That is a networking tip. Like, put people in a position where they have to talk about themselves. Mm-hmm. It's not your time to really spew out a whole bunch of information about you. But is that where we're going in this episode, in this conversation?
Maybe. I was going to say something else, that like we were talking about Neo's saying, I need to be a better leader or a better communicator, right? I need to reply to text more. I need to like reply to text, right? And people think that the major thing that they need to do is the major thing. Like, I got to get the funnel together in the email sequence campaign. And that is not the thing that's going to change your life. It's these little hacks. And I want to ask both of you all, what is one small tweak that made all the difference? Because it's not the big stuff that makes all the difference. It's a small tweak. There's something that you need to like turn on. Like, the growth of his company isn't going to come from a better strategy. Now that's a given, right? He's going to do that. But his ability to recognize that Andrew's unhappy and saying, I need to do something about it and I need to focus on leadership, is going to open up so many doors and probably 10x, 20x productivity in the company, because he focused on this one thing. So I want to hear an example of like a small tweak that made all the difference for you.
I don't know how small of a tweak it is, but the tweak that is making all the difference for me this year is recognizing that I'm the problem. Yeah.
Oh, let that sit on the room for a second. Let that sit on the room for a second.
Yeah.
Golly.
I am the problem. My business right now grows as big or as small as I am. And I had to learn how to get out of the way and position other people to help me. And so trying to do everything myself, even when I had a team that's capable of doing things, trying to do it myself, in spite of that, has been the biggest bottleneck in the growth or not of my company. So allowing people to help me and get out of the way. Like, I'm terrible at replying to emails. I'm terrible at the admin tasks. I'm terrible at deadlines, but there are other people who love those things. I've been working on a funnel for me and you for like the last month, right? Mm-hmm. And though it's been moving at caterpillar pace because I've been doing it. And I told you when we discussed doing what we're doing, if we do another project, people have to be in position to help. Mm-hmm. And then I said, I can knock this out. Light workload's light. Let me knock it out. So I'm doing it, and it's taking snail's pace to get it done. Shatora comes along and edits the funnel and everything that I needed to give back to the funnel team in hours. Hours.
Wow.
Side-eyeing her. Make me look terrible. Yeah. I've been struggling to post content, consistently.
You've been doing a lot better lately.
I've been Brianna.
Golly.
Bree is the reason. Like, making sure that I have things to post, delivering it to me right now. Like, there has not been a day that I hadn't posted content, but the bottleneck was me having to sit down and figure out what I'm going to post, find an image. I don't worry about that. Bree's job now is to make sure we capture content, and you just deliver me whatever you think I should post. And I will put the caption and everything.
You got to approve it first.
I got to approve it. So Bree posts on my story. So a lot of the things that you see on my stories from throughout the day, Bree will take care of that. But my news feed is so personal to me. Just give me the video, and I just want to see it, tell you if there's something in it I don't like, I'll send it back. But for the most part, she gets it right the first time. Your caption's
extensive.
My captions have to come from me. Like, this is how I've built my entire identity as a digital marketer, as a digital brand. And so those are always my words. But the caption has never been the bottleneck for me. It's been the image or the video or the piece of content, searching through my phone for hours, looking for an image or a video that will match a thought that I have. And I don't have to do that. Now I have somebody here with me full time that makes sure we always have an image. We always have a video. And that's whew, thank God.
Crushing it.
I've been killing this content. And you know what motivated it?
What's that?
Was you trying me.
I had to.
Donni, so I told David that I had shared with somebody. I said, Dave, I told this guy I was a content creator. And David said, why would you tell him that? Sir, because I'm a content creator. I've been creating content online since 2008. What do you mean? Oh, I don't see you as a content creator. When I think of you, I think business coach. I think, the co-host of the Social Proof podcast. But the last thing I think is a content creator. A word?
Let's do that.
Word? Let me show you what you've been missing. But I did fall into a space where content creation. So I had to realize that me as a content creator in my past life was me just living my life having fun. But now it's a business. Like, I am in the business of content creation, and that became overwhelming. Like, you always got, and then you get into these points where it's like, you got to be pretty, you got to be this, you got to be dressed, you got to be that. Just get the content. It doesn't matter what I look like. We're going to match it with something. And so, again, the tweak that I had to make was stepping out of the way and bringing people on who could hear what I need, my vision, and help me execute.
That is huge too, because the first thing she said was, I had to realize I'm the problem.
Yeah.
And once you made that realization, then the activity starts to follow.
Yeah, you start to discuss it with yourself. If you say to yourself, if you're able to admit and confess with your own mouth that my life looks the way it looks because of me, because I am the problem, I am the holdup, I am the only person making the mistakes, I'm the procrastinator, like, can you really be pleased with yourself? Like, at some point you have to get up. If I wake up in the morning and life is in shambles and I'm like, you know what, Donni, it was a decision you made that's the reason why your life is in shambles. I just posted about this today. You have to take ownership of what you bring to the table. You stop saying things like, why do I keep attracting? I keep attracting all these cheaters. Okay, what's wrong with you? What about you? No, real talk.
What's wrong with you?
At some point, you got to say, now, you attract a woman beater one time, that might be a fluke. Been there, done that, right? Let you think I'm attracting another one? Let me change whatever it is about myself for you to think you could put your hands on me like that and not die. Right? Let me figure out what that is, because it was a repeat and not die. Yeah.
Yo.
It's a repeat behavior. So you're sitting there like, I keep attracting, I keep failing, failure after failure. Why is this happening to me? No. What is it about me, God, that is allowing me to be this person that fails consistently? Why do you keep attracting disloyal friends? Why do you keep attracting scammers? Why do you keep attracting whatever it is negative that you're attracting? The question is, why am I allowing it to the point where it's repeat behavior?
I gotta find. Go ahead, Neil. If you gotta add, I gotta find this post in response to the thing that you said, and it was disgusting. Maybe. Go ahead, Neil.
So mine, I'm not gonna go as deep as Donni. I want to just give you something tactical that sometimes it'd be the small things that could really move your business. So one, I believe if you're selling something, you need to add a sales team. Like just one small, I don't care what you're doing. If you got somebody on your behalf helping you make sales, that is leverage.
Yeah.
So somebody calling clients, somebody taking incoming calls, somebody going to events, trying to acquire more customers for your brand. So that can add an extra $100,000 to millions of dollars to your business. 30 days from now, if you go find and hire a salesperson. Second thing, and this is again tactical, but add an upsell to whatever you're selling. Like so many people don't sell, like the best time to sell a customer something is after they already buy something.
Immediately.
What else can they buy in that very moment?
Yeah.
And the thing that helped us, if we're not talking about webinars, but we added PayPal credit years ago, and 50% of people who take our offer use PayPal credit. So they had the funds to start. PayPal credit made that available. So it's money that we wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Don't let that go over your head.
I don't want this. You said something. You were saying if you're selling something, have a sales team in position to sell for you.
Yep.
Talk about why that's so important.
I mean, that alone, that's the highest form of I won't say it's the highest form. It's a huge form of leverage. Think about this concept. Think about you got a $5,000 service. You do surgeries, whatever. I don't care, whatever it is. And you got somebody that's reaching out to people, like before we start doing appointment setting and doing all of that, we just had one salesperson that would do all of that. Now we got appointment setters, we got salespeople, but they're literally, I haven't took a sales call in forever. And they only get paid when they close a deal if it's 100% commission. Why wouldn't you have it?
Right.
Like, it does. Why wouldn't you have a salesperson?
Yeah.
That's like we're about to hire a salesperson that go find brand deals. Yo, you getting 20% of the brand deals. Go get this curriculum in school. You get 20%. Guess how much I'm making?
No base salary?
No base salary. You can. We got like appointment setters. We give them a base salary, but you literally could go, yo, I'm giving you 20%. You go get $100,000 contract. Will you give 20% right now if somebody bring you speaking engagements?
Absolutely.
For sure.
And you imagine you got 5 people out there just soliciting speaking engagements right now. Money you making that you wasn't going to make anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, if you do that, send me a DM.
Yeah.
Me one too.
Me too.
Yeah.
I need somebody to put my curriculum in every school in America, and I'll give you 20% of every contract.
I need somebody to get me booked for speaking engagements and brand deals, and I'll give you 20% for
Can
sure.
I do that pitch for? Don't try to get the people that was going to hit me, and then now you try to piggyback on my ass.
And let me say this: you get me, David, booked together, or me, David, and Neo booked together, or me and Neo booked together. We'll give you 25%.
Yeah. Well, make sure you come right.
I'm sorry. Hold on. You said we'll give them what?
25.
I'm cool.
They got to make sure them numbers are right.
25 was a little.
First
off, a booking agent normally is like 10-15%. 20 I was going
we'll
with.
We'll give you 25% on your first one. Whoever's first to do it. Disclaimer. No, but it's so important. And you also talked about, which is something that I need to do. I don't do. I know to do it, but sending people to events on your behalf.
That's powerful.
So huge.
Imagine, especially all the events we go to. Imagine if you got somebody going to all of these events. You're also leveraging their audience. You need to start going to these events, hosting your own event at their event. I'm having something up in my penthouse tonight.
Are you?
You got a penthouse?
No, I'm using that for
okay. Because
you never know.
Never know.
This guy.
No. I'm saying we go to somebody's event. They already spend all the money to get all of these people here. Guess what? I'm having a free event, a free podcasting event, a free coaching strategy session.
Yeah.
But y'all already brought our ideal customers here already.
Yeah. And even to the point of sending people to events, I know there are some masterminds that offer, so we'll look at these masterminds that we join, and we might be joining to say, learn how to scale. Like the mastermind might be like the one that we're in, Neo, learn how to scale learn how to get leverage, learn how to acquire, learn how to set up for sale. But then there's also this section that says learn how to become the best COO. Somebody like Neo would check out of that part. Oh, I don't know if I could justify it. I don't want that. You don't want it. Don't just not use that portion. Send your COO for that portion. Many of these masterminds will tell you if you're not the person to handle this part of what we're offering, send the team member that is. So we're investing in all these masterminds for ourselves, but are we investing in that same level of information and growth for our team, the people who are directly responsible for helping us to become better?
Yeah.
That's
I wonder,
important
I don't know if the moment has passed. There's a couple of things based on like the stuff. You know how y'all be saying stuff that I'm like, oh, I want to say something. Okay, it hasn't passed. You said something about going, their abuser or something like that, being abused. And I saw something that was just so disgusting to me. Y'all know who Kristen Evans is, the girl who got abused by Zach Stacy.
Oh yeah.
The guy in the video. I'm talking about. He was hitting her so hard. He grabbed her, threw her into the TV. I don't see it. This might have been the worst abuse I've ever seen. And he is big.
Oh, this years ago, right?
It happened in 2019, I think. Her response, though, broke my heart.
Oh, my God.
What's her response, then?
It broke my heart. And in that moment, all I could do was think, just pray for her because she's so broken. So he does this. She's got cameras in her home, and apparently he's an abuser. She's got a 5-month-old baby who's sitting on the sofa, and in the incident, she's in like the studio apartment, and he just grabs her and throws her like a rag doll into the wall. The TV falls down on her. He gets and he's kicking her and he's punching her, and she's fighting.
This is no little guy.
This is
huge.
This is like linebacker.
Right? Yes.
This is like linebacker size man, black man, white woman or whatever she is, and he's just like beating her,
All right,
beating
what was
her.
her response? Because I can't.
So,
let me read it.
But I have to set this up. So they go to court. He gets arrested. They go to court, and you read it.
So there's the caption. Christy Evans says Zach Stacy, who was the abuser, has changed while reacting to his 6-month sentence for brutally beating her. Jail does not offer resources needed for mental health patients. Let me see if we can listen.
I'll continue to be an advocate for mental health because once you deal with your trauma and learn proper coping skills, you can change behavior and communication.
So she pretty much said there's
over the
been a
last 6
significant...
months, he's consistently shown an improvement, as well as our son enjoying spending time with him. My concern was our son and what kind of psychological effect it would have on him having his father gone for 6 months or more. I'm an advocate for mental health.
Oh
baby at the time that this happened was 5 months old. So this makes major headline news, and he ends up getting prosecuted. He gets 6 months jail time. So the blogs,
lose his NFL contracts?
Of course. Yeah, the blogs get a hold of this, and they're saying 6 months, 6 months. That's so, it's crappy what he did to this woman. He could have killed her. And they later find out that she didn't advocate for jail time. She didn't want him to have jail time. And so now she's coming out and speaking and basically saying, well, I didn't advocate for jail time because jail doesn't rehabilitate a woman beater. He needs mental support and help, which is probably very true. But you whip my behind like that.
I think you need a mix of both of them.
You need both. You need jail. But the thing is, she's coming to his defense. This man left her for dead, and she's coming to his defense saying, well, I wanted him to be in my son's life. You don't get to be in my son's life if you beat me nearly to death. That period. Get your life together. Get something together. And she's saying he's demonstrated that he can change. 6 months of jail time is not demonstrating that anybody can change. So to my point, if you are in a situation where someone is violent against you and it happens once and you stand up for yourself and it's never again, that's not your fault. But you keep coming back to this. You forgive them. You make excuses for them. Now there's something in you that's attracting more of this behavior. So whether it's him or the next guy, it hasn't clicked for her yet. She's not ready to not deal with an abuser yet because she's too busy excusing them for whatever reason. And it just broke my heart. And instead of, condemning, which is probably what this sounds like, I've been there, done that with an abuser. And some people, it just instantly clicks. I don't like this. It doesn't feel good. I'm done.
A while, though, Donni.
For other people, it takes a while.
Before we got married, she was abused a lot me for years.
Yeah.
That crap is hard. And if you don't got nobody around you, and nobody going to go holler at my man, they letting stuff slide. She got her aunts around. This guy was beating her up.
Yeah. What was it for her that finally said, I'm done?
I think I came around one.
You.
I mean, you came around while she was with the guy?
So I met my wife at our last job that we worked at. While she's working there, she was still getting abused. I mean, this dude stayed home, played PlayStation all day
while she worked.
Like she had to go to work for him. Like it was wild to me. I'm like, how's this? Like,
and you could tell you knew this before.
Yeah, I'm like, why are you still like, what's up with you? It's like, well, it's almost like I feel like, and I don't know about abuse and stuff, but I feel like they feel like it's no other option.
Right.
Like, why are you staying in this thing, man? Like, just leave. Like, you can't even. I can't even leave.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that's ever been through that, that has that experience? Because I like to understand. I'm trying to understand the mindset behind why you stay. Hold on, let me get a microphone real quick.
Should it be a personal thing, or you could
bump that camera?
So my younger sister actually just left from that. She was in North Carolina and just relocated with me because she has kids by 2 men and she didn't want to break up the home. I mean, by the same man, she didn't want to break up the home. So she decided to stay with him, and it got to the point where she's driving, he's beating her up, pretty much putting his hands on her while she's in the car in front of the kids. And it got to the point where for her, she had to have, the reality had to, what's the best way to put it? She had to come to reality what's best for her kids and for her, because she does have a younger son. And staying in a relationship like that, especially if you have kids, it's to the point where the younger son is now being abusive to his siblings because of what he sees, and he's 2 years old. So she had to get out of that situation. So we literally picked up the U-Haul, brought her here, and her getting out of the state and away from around him, now she doesn't have to go back to that.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
I think it's very similar because I didn't necessarily stay in the situation when I dealt with that in college, but I didn't stay in the relationship. And in fact, I wasn't in the relationship when it started. But there was a part of me the first time I saw him express how sorry he was for putting his hands on me and becoming violent. I saw the good person in him, and I wanted to believe, you know what, we can be friends. Like, I can forgive you and we can be friends, when really a person who does something like that to you doesn't deserve your friendship. They don't deserve your respect. They don't deserve your loyalty. But it's it's the heartstrings that they pull on. It's like, wow, this never happened before. He's right. This isn't like him. He's right. I see the tears. He's right. He looks sorry. So let's try to rehabilitate just a friendship. We'll never be in a relationship, but let's do a friendship. And it comes down to 2 things, and we can relate this to any areas of our lives, whether it's a domestic situation or even staying in a struggle, like financially, as an entrepreneur, giving up. It's hard when you're in the midst of something. It's hard not to 2 things. It's hard to see that you have other options, like Neo said. Yeah. It's hard to see that you have the option. 2, it's hard to understand and own the fact that you have control. You have the control to change the situation, whether it's financial trauma, physical trauma, or whatever it is. You have the control to change the situation. And number 3, which is tricky, and you have to really, really be deep into personal development, 2 things. It's never as good as you think it is, and it's never as bad as you think it is. Those work together. So your finances are never as good as you think they are. You could be up, but with one bad day or one bad news article from realizing how down we actually are, right?
Goodness gracious.
We down. And it could be bad, but it just takes you learning about a situation slightly worse than, or it takes you escaping that situation to realize, you know what? It wasn't as bad. So if you understand that you do have options and you are in control, and never ever accept that it's as good as or as bad as you think it is, you can begin to work yourself out of it. But it's a mindset shift that has to happen.
I think though, Donni, you put your hand on a woman, that's non-negotiable.
It's non-negotiable.
I mean, that's not even. yeah, I'll give you another shot. No,
Period.
You shouldn't even. That's like one of them joints that you were raised to know. Don't put your hand on a woman. I don't care what you like. I don't care how bad it is.
Put the camera.
Keep your hands to
on
yourself.
me. You will die, and you should die. Okay, like dead serious. You beat a woman the way this man beat this woman.
That was out of pocket.
You die.
Yeah.
Period. Somebody beats you the same way until you lose life. Like, I'm serious about that. And so any woman who is experiencing that, they don't change. They never do. The same guy who did it to me later went to prison for doing it to somebody else, got out, got into a bar fight, did it to a man. Like, this is in him. And, you know, I read something, and I don't remember the quote word for word, but there was a quote that said, people never tell you how bad your situation is until it's too late for you, something like that. And this happened to me when I was in college. I'm a sophomore in college when it started, ended up being a junior when it was over, but it happened, and I had to escape. He tried to take my life. I had to escape college and leave and disappear. And so many people called me later or wrote me letters and said, yeah, he used to beat his ex-girlfriend, and I wanted to say something, but you seem so happy. Why would you wait to give me that warning until it happened to me? Why wouldn't you give me that warning ahead of time? And so we have a responsibility to each other. If you've experienced it before, if you've experienced a certain financial trauma or physical trauma, and you see somebody erring on the side of danger, warn them.
I don't think the financial trauma is bad, because we've been in that all of our lives. Like, that became normal. Like, let me ask you though. I mean, because what's financial trauma? Is that like, yo, listen, I used to date him. He ain't got it. But would it be trying? That's what I'm saying. Like, what? Yeah.
So as of late, I reward trying.
You reward trying?
I reward trying.
Okay.
But that's kind of what this lady is saying. She's like, I reward him. Last 6 months, he's trying.
Financial.
I don't care what she said. That's going out of pocket. After that,
it is. But the thing is, because we aren't in it, and there's something going on in her head. She thinks he's mentally sick.
She's mentally sick.
She has something going on in her head that says, I'm willing to go back through that because things might change. What? And she can't see it. Yo, it's like you're in a bad situation. You ever been with somebody, you dated somebody, and it was a terrible relationship. In the moment you get out, you're like, yo, I am so glad, because like they put me through hardship, pain, like they keep cheating. They make me feel like I'm not worth anything, right? But as time goes on, in 6 months, you're removed from the feeling and you forget about how bad things were. Like in hindsight, it's almost like, well, you know what? I was a little hard to deal with. Because we're so far removed from it, and then we get in it again. And then some time goes by and we forget how bad it was. How do we break out of that mentally? Because that has a lot to do with our mental health, and it affects more than just a relationship.
Preaching to the choir, Reese, insert dramatic music, because that was it. That's the clip. A couple of things. We get so used, people impact most of our experiences. And in a situation like hers, I imagine that this man manipulated her so badly that she lost all self-worth. And her self-worth was wrapped into this relationship. You're dating this athlete. And it doesn't just happen with people with money. Yo, let me tell you how much audacity people have. You be broke as shit putting your hands on women. How you broke as hell and beating on me? Imagine that if you don't go get your account out of overdraft and quit playing with me. No, but quit playing with me, sir. No, but seriously, sometimes your self-worth is destroyed by somebody that you've attached yourself to. Like, manipulators are so good. People who will beat on you, or people who mean you harm or will steal from you, they have pegged you from day one and you didn't know it. So the whole relationship has been an act. I'm going to get her to this point where she feels so small. I'm going to love her so much that she doesn't feel like she needs to be around her family. I'm going to give her so much quality time in her love language that she spends less and less time with her friends. Now it's all about me.
Do you think that people are seeing that strategically, or they're just being jerks?
Oh, it's strategic. I mean, there are some people, like a manipulator, like a salesperson. Salespeople are masterful manipulators. Manipulation is not a negative thing. It's just
if it's done properly.
Well, manipulation simply means to encourage the result that you want, essentially, right? Manipulation is getting somebody to make the decision that you want them to make. Those decisions could be good. Those decisions could be bad, right? And so when you're in a sales cycle, on a sales call, for example, from the moment you pick up the phone, we are manipulating the conversation to help you, encourage you, make a choice that benefits you and that benefits us, right? And people who are that way and they do it maliciously, they've spotted their next victim immediately. They know one day that they're going to break you down and put their hands on you. They know it. They might even believe that they've moved beyond this area of their lives. They might believe, I'm trying to get better. Ooh, but she's that profile. She's the one. And they make you believe that you're the reason that they're this way. Anyway, you think about this woman, the crib that she's in doesn't scream that she had any bread, which is, I got a lot of questions.
Oh, for sure.
He an athlete. Why you live like this? You got him in your 300 square feet beating on you? He's an NFL. So that's already like, he's been manipulating her. I'm going to keep you broke. I'm going to keep you just enough. I'm going to give you a baby. You're about to be mine. You stuck with me. I'm taking you away from your family. I'm going to put my hands on you every second I get. Any joy that you get that requires money, I'm issuing it out to you in an allowance. It's manipulation the whole time. The beating was just the cherry on the ice cream.
I mean, he hit her before, though. You could tell.
100%. She said it.
What?
He's beating her. But she just continued to stay, man. And I don't know. I was just speechless when I saw that. Because now I do think there are some things that come to make you stronger and some things that come to make you weaker. Like abuse comes in positive and negative. So you're going through issues and life is abusing you, but at least you're moving towards a direction and you're growing. And like there are some things that you can control. On another end, physical abuse, you can't control the other person. And maybe we think we can, but I don't think we should automatically. Here's like the question of morality. If you're married and the person hits you, do you leave? Do you give up on the whole marriage?
Period. I'm out. I'm going to hit you back. I'm going to hurt you badly.
So, all right. So
Donni,
if you're in a relationship, if you're in a relationship and somebody cheats, do you leave?
Depends.
It depends. So
Married, that's a different story.
So right, so like there are levels to like what you're willing to accept. You're not willing to accept any of it.
cheating.
I mean, just
and
period.
I'm not willing to
I'm
accept
talking about abuse. I'm talking
anything
about
that
abuse.
hurts me.
Right.
Abuse. No, putting your hands on me is a deal breaker. Now, I will say,
that's a deal breaker.
It's a deal breaker. Yeah. I had someone push me, and my spidey senses went up. Mm-hmm. So we about to do this?
What type of push?
It was like we're in the middle of a heated argument and they pushed themselves past me pushed me out of the way.
Or like I'm out of here.
Push me out of the way. And in that moment.
Were you in fact in the way?
I was in fact in the way.
Because I'm not an abuser, but like there was somebody who was in front of the door and I'm like, yo, can you please? And then they're fighting back. I'm like, yo, get out I'm leaving. So
in that moment, I was trying to determine if they were really buck because I was nuck. You know what I mean? Like, God, please help me to use discernment here. Are you beating me? So like now you just don't have any room to be physically aggressive with me. It's a deal breaker. For years after that, I was so scarred and traumatized that if you raised your voice at me, because I sat for years trying to figure out how could I was even a women's empowerment person at that time. How could I end up in a situation with a man who thought so little of me? Like, you'll have to go back to my first Social Proof episode to learn that he kidnapped me. He held me hostage. He did all kinds of stuff, right? How did I attract this? And the only thing that I used to say there were no signs. He was the nicest guy. He was the sweetest guy. But there were signs. He lacked anger management. There was no middle with him. He was either great or he was pissed to the next level. And I could remember being like, why do these things work you up so badly? Why do you get so angry? Why do people get under your skin so much? It was like, if we argue, we're having a massive blowout arguing. He's storming out of, my dorm or my apartment at that time. That was the sign. So for years, and sometimes even to this day, you argue at me too harshly, too aggressively. You scream at me too aggressively. I'm good.
Yeah, it probably triggers something.
It does. Yeah. Because that was the only sign that I had from him that I should have leaned into a little bit more.
Goodness gracious. All right. Can we talk about something positive?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm in a funk right now.
Yeah,
this is crazy because I'm getting even more angry. I know.
What you think people gonna think about this episode, though?
Oh, they're going to love it.
Oh, they're going to love this.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. Okay, yeah, it's not over. Go for it.
Well, I was going to say that, so I've had the push before, and at the push, I was out because I blacked out. But I've seen it. I've seen it growing up. I've seen it with friends. I've seen it with family. And I think it's kind of like everything else. The heart wants what it wants, and you aren't going to do even what you feel like you want to do until you're just ready to do it. Like, you're not done until you're done. That's real. And you can't make someone be done. That course would be the amazing course to put out. Like, how do you become done? And I think that's just the inner self-conflict.
Let me write that down because I just got.
That's going to be your next caption. Jada, what's up?
I've experienced emotional abuse and sexual abuse. And
explain the. Are you saying like you were raped?
How old are you? Because you look like you like 18.
I'm 24.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you saying like in a sexual abuse in a relationship, or?
I wasn't in a relationship with him. He was a guy. He asked me to be his Valentine, and then he thought he could get
that one time though. It wasn't like continuous.
Yeah, it was the one time.
Can I ask? I'm sorry, but how did it happen? You gotta be too graphic, but like what happened? Where were we? What was the scenario?
Well, we went out for Valentine's Day, and we weren't dating or anything. But it was more so like we were just getting to know each other. Like we were in the beginning of like getting to know each other, and so we had hung out before. So after Valentine's Day, he wanted to like watch some movies at his place, but we had watched movies before. Like nothing ever happened. And so then it was like he just assumed because you went on a date with me for Valentine's Day and you got on this dress or whatever, or I don't know. But he kept just asking me like trying to get me to have sex with him, and I kept saying no, like over and over and over. And then like he just started trying stuff, and because it's like already hard for me to say like no, it just was kind of like, okay, just get it over with. And so yeah. But
oh my gosh,
I think every woman has experienced the feeling of, how do I just get this over with?
Yeah.
Might not have gone through with it, but we receive so much pressure as women by men, such immature beings that will, like, one of the sexiest traits of a man that understands a woman's word is her bond. A no means no. Like, if we're in an intimate setting, I don't care how far I got with you, no is no. Don't try 15 minutes later, offer me another glass of wine, turn on another movie, think of a foot massage is going to lead to a booty rub and all of this stuff. No is no. And most women that are grown women have dealt with a man who has tried too long, too hard, too many times, and don't think you playa and you just got game and eventually you're going to wear her down. What you've done is put her in a very uncomfortable situation where now she's a little scared. She's very uncomfortable. And it's like, Just get it over with. Especially if you're dealing with a passive young girl who may have already experienced something in her life. You don't know what her history has given her. And now she's in a situation where she's afraid to go for the door. She's stuck, she's stunned, she's shocked. Like, guys, no, it's just no. It's just no. You did not wear her down. You were not a player.
Oh my gosh. You know why I feel, we're not judging, right?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it depends.
I do. I feel bad. I'm like just flashback over my life where maybe I've been like persistent, and eventually they say okay.
Yeah.
Right? You might be in that mode, or like you're at it. I've never been like an aggressive person, like just like, no, let's go. Like, but you know, you're in the mode and they're there and you're gonna attempt, and eventually in your mind you think, oh well, they really wanted it. They were just playing hard to get or whatever. But maybe I was persistent. And like when she said it, I'm like, it wasn't about being aggressive. You're almost like pestering.
It's
like
pestering.
Let's just like come on, and eventually. And I never even thought. And I pray that none of those people. And it hasn't happened often, but I can remember a couple times. Damn. I pray that it wasn't all right, I don't feel comfortable, and he's not going to stop.
You were a whole thought out here.
No, I wasn't.
I mean, because you went to like the chest clutch. Like,
yeah,
I
man, because I felt
none of you girls.
I felt so bad in that moment.
From Shan's past.
And I thought I was just so smooth. Like,
you thought you were smooth and a player. But it's like, you know, people will wear, and somebody's looking at this and they're going to say, no, you know, if you're uncomfortable, just leave. You don't know people's history. Yeah. You don't know what they experienced that makes, like, what if when she was a little girl, she tried to escape an uncle who it would have gone from just going with it to now you got beat and it was brutal and it was violent, you know? So you don't know what that person dealt with. And I'm sure nobody felt that way, because there's a little difference between a light persistence and aggressiveness. Yeah. And some people get really aggressive.
I want to finish yours because I got to get on a different topic. Cause
yeah, please, bro. This is crazy.
Yeah, but it's
like Dr. Phil.
But it's helping somebody, so I'm not mad at it. But we got to move on.
It makes me cringe thinking about this. Yeah, I think about my daughters.
Yeah, I was gonna say how Donni said it made you think like, what is wrong with me, or what type of woman am I for you to like think that that's okay. And I've had like emotional abuse, like with my dad, and like I had like a little bit of emotional abuse in like a relationship, and I had like the same thought. And somebody told me they felt like it was because they say I have like this childlike innocence, even though I'm not a child. They were like, how I carry myself, it makes it seem like, oh, like you could be yanked around or you could be treated a certain way just because, like, I don't know. But I also think I could be like overly forgiving. So like with my dad, when he would do stuff, I would get hurt, and then
what stuff? You said emotional. Is that yelling at you? Like what?
Like he would call me like a dumbass, tell me I'm a failure. Like he would always like talk to me like it was like one of my friends broke an umbrella. And he like went off on me like about that, telling me like how stupid I am. When I had to drop out of school, he said like, I'm gonna take everything away from you and you're not even gonna have a pot to piss in. Like, but he didn't want to help me with school. Yeah, like he had the money, but he didn't want to help me with school. And so it was like he always wanted me to like make me feel small, like I don't know, but that's how he was raised. So he thought it was okay. And so my mom, she would tell me like, oh, leave your dad alone. But then it's like every time I start to see him like show a little bit of progress, I'd be like, no, like I can forgive him. Like he's getting better. And then like he'll come back and do the same stuff. And it would be like, it's like he'll do stuff to make me like feel like I need him. And then just try to like take stuff away. And then also even like growing up, he was like the parent that had money, that lived well, but treated me bad. My mom didn't have money. And like living with her, it would be more of a struggle. So I had to choose like, do I want to live nice and be treated well, or do I want to struggle and at least have a parent that supports me. And then I chose like through high school, I said, well, I'm gonna just live here. I get to live nice. But I knew like what came with that. And so, yeah, I feel like I realized like I try and like see the good too, or not, even if it's just like a little sliver, like a little tiny bit of good, you know? Like I try and like see like, oh, well, they're trying just for them to come back in.
I remember a phrase that, Neil, we're going to get to something more positive, okay? I remember a phrase that always stuck with me. And when I was younger, I heard it and I didn't agree with it. But the older I get, I 100% stand on it. The phrase was, people change, but not much.
Yeah.
I found that to be true.
I agree.
People change, but not much.
But not much.
All right, Neil, give me some.
Before we change gears, I want to say.
We are here.
I want to really say thank you to the men who have come and been a rescue agent for some women. And right here on our panel, our cousin to Social Proof Podcast, Neil, thank you for what you've done. You probably saved Mindy's life.
Yeah.
Like you probably are the reason, you're definitely a huge part of the reason why she's flourishing and living like she's experiencing joy because you rescued her from a horrible situation. And there are so many men who would shy away like, oh, she's been hurt, she's been scarred, she's damaged goods. But seeing the beauty in her and deciding that, you know what? This is someone special and I am going to provide a special life for her. Like I think everybody deserves to give him a round of applause because that's huge.
How nice of Donni. Thank you. Make me feel nice.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
No tears?
Come on, man. Cry a little bit.
Cry.
Give me a little bit of water.
All right, in terms of as we wrap up, we'll have Neil close us out with.
We gotta have one more conversation before we just.
We've been here for a good little minute, but I think this is gonna tie into what we're talking about.
We gotta come on a.
We gotta leave on a high note,
man.
We gotta leave on a high note.
This is good. This is what I'm gonna ask you.
Transition into the.
It's gonna be a nice transition. Okay, just hear me out. Okay, so. I guess maybe it's not. I don't know. We're gonna see. Give me from the time of you, your dad not being in your life. I know it starts rough, right? But it's gonna get.
Here we go, man.
And everything in between to you having 20 plus employees, things of that nature. What were the internal changes that you had to make? And give me 3 internal changes that you had to make. And talk to anybody that's dealing with those things as well, how they can make those changes as well.
3 internal changes. Well, I never missed my dad not having a dad. So I never really missed not having my dad because my mom and my grandma took good care of me. Where I know a lot of friends that are really upset that they didn't have that extra person, which. Now, when I look back, I'm like, man, I wish I did because we'd be so much further if we actually had some guidance growing up. Mm-hmm. So the internal change is that you got to forgive first. Yeah. And this is probably, you got to forgive like whoever wasn't there for you because somebody else's experience may not be mine. They may be holding on to this grudge. I didn't have my dad. I won't become anything. Like, I don't put my success on anybody else. Anybody else's. Like, I don't depend on nobody else for me to be successful. I'm going to go do it myself. So one, I think being self-reliant, even if you're working, you still need to find a way to be self-reliant. 2, a thing that happened to me when I was trying to get my business started, I was asking my mom, go do my business license, go do this, and she didn't help me do nothing. So I think the second thing is you got to go figure it out on your own in the process of finding mentors and stuff, but don't wait for somebody to do it for you. It will never get done.
Nobody's coming to save you.
No one's coming to save you. And I think the other one, Donni talked about it earlier, talking about it's my fault. You got to take responsibility of where you are and where you want to be and do everything in your power to make that change. Dad been in jail since I was 2 for committing murder, died there, got kicked out of high school, got kicked out of college, been fired from 10 jobs. All of those occurrences can't be somebody else's fault. The dad one, maybe. The high school one, no. The college one, no. 10, maybe a couple jobs, but 10? Like,
what's
come on.
wrong with you, son?
Yeah. So everything changed 15 years ago when I said, yo, I'm going to become mentally unemployable. I'm going to make this thing work. So you got to switch that. Whatever you're going through is preparing you for where you're about to go, and you just got to go all in.
There's somebody that is and I want to know like how you see this particular behavior pattern. They try something, it gets a little tough, they stop, and then they try something else. Like I'm talking about, like you don't even really give it a long time to see it through. There's so many people that just start, stop, right? When you see a situation like that, where do you attribute to that? Where do you attribute that to? Where's that coming from?
Most times I see they got a backup plan. Meaning you got a job, you got a parent that's going to make sure you're good, you got a spouse that's going to make sure you're good. Like it's all, you have a backup plan. So man, maybe I don't got to give too much to this, because if it don't work, I know I'm going to get that check on Friday. I didn't have no backup plan because I said in my mind I am mentally unemployable. Entrepreneurship must work or death for me. Those were my two options. And I would not retreat. So when everything was going wrong, I didn't look at like my best year in business in 2 years was $20 profit or $50 whatever. I didn't look at that like it was a bad thing, making not enough all of them, because I knew it was a part of the plan. So I feel like a lot of people don't hit their target or their goals because you got too many backup plans. If this don't work, you got plan B. It's like an actor or actress moving to LA. If acting don't work, as soon as you set up in your mind, but it don't work. So for my situation is different, but I think you got to remove your backup plan. That don't mean quitting, but you got to know like, yo, this business is going, me being a business owner is going to work. This business may don't work, but being a business owner is going to work. And the second thing is I think you need to actually see what you're doing. Is it actually sustainable and does it have a future? I'm not going to recommend you go start a fruit truck right now. Will it work? Yes. But will it give you your dream life? I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have started a fruit truck then if I'd known what I knew. I would just take my grandmom every week to go get fresh fruit. And I was seeing this look like a business that I'm smart enough to start. There's some people that go get 10, 20 trucks. And then my mentor owns something called Produce Junction. They probably do 20, 30 million a year. He's
Produce Junction. I remember they had one in Willingboro.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's my mentor.
Oh, that's crazy.
Got a plane. I'm talking about he up. He know nothing about online either. He's up. But I say all that to say that's very hard to go get to that level that he's at. So I think the biggest thing is you must make up in your mind that whatever you're doing, that it must work, but you got to actually make sure it's the right thing.
But how do they determine that? So you're in the middle of it, and I see this fruit truck, and I have a farm.
Yeah.
I want to put fruit on a truck and sell it on the side of the road or wherever we're selling it. How do I determine what's the fine line determination that says this is not sustainable, or I have a plan B? Like, what makes me say this isn't sustainable?
Coach or a mentor now. Like, I feel like you need to start doing some. What I do that makes me start a lot of businesses is I just go find somebody who went before me and let them be my example. Like the fruit truck business, that was my example. A junk removal business, when I started, I had another example. Make sure you are following an example of somebody that has some success in that industry and maybe multiple people, and reach out to them. And is this something that, if you was to start over in 2023, whatever year we in, is this something you would do right now? Do you think this is something I should pursue? But then I think you should ask multiple people that, because everybody got a different perspective on it. You know what I mean? Like, what is your goal? If your goal is to make $5,000 a month, this may work for you. If your goal is to make $10,000, now this may don't work. If your goal is to start a podcast and become a millionaire tomorrow, podcasting may not be the thing for you, because it may take a year or 2 years or 3. How long you been podcasting?
Forever.
How long?
That long. 2018.
Right. So 4 years. But do you got 4 years to take? Young kid that met yo, I'm trying to make fast money. What do I do? Like, my advice to you is going to be a little different than,
right.
I got 5 years. I'm trying to build wealth. It's a different. So I think you got to really go seek out knowledge. You got to really go seek out knowledge from others. You don't necessarily got to pay nobody. You could just go listen to podcasts, read articles.
I think that's the struggle that many people are having right now. How do I know if I'm just giving up or if I'm really working on something that's just not sustainable?
That's good.
That's good. And that's a conversation for our next episode. I'm going to write that down. Absolutely. And that's exactly where we're going to be. The difference between giving up and admitting that this is just not it.
I have a strong belief that that is not going to be the conversation we have next time. But we'll see. I got faith in you.
Texting it to the group right
now. Look, y'all, thank y'all for being in the audience. We got to wrap up, but this is amazing. This is like a roller coaster of stuff going on. I feel like I need to face some of the abuse in my life in terms of like, I think I abuse myself, and I have to face myself and identify why I'm doing this to myself.
What
like,
you mean,
why do I continue to put myself in harm's way to help other people? Or I was actually going to make a post. I am probably one of the easiest people to take advantage of, because on the server, I just trust everybody. I mean, it's just, I give you the benefit of the doubt up front, but that is me doing something to me, not somebody doing something to me. Makes sense?
What is it about you, Shans? Because I've been telling you this for years. I was just telling, I think it was Ernestine yesterday, that you're gullible.
Golly, why? I can't like having a transparent moment about myself where you're right. You're gullible.
I was like, I had to, me and EJ were talking and you came up and I'm like, we got to protect our brother because sometimes he can be pretty gullible.
Yeah.
What do you think it is? Shit.
Give me an example of my gullibility.
Your believability in everybody. You believe the good in everybody. And I love that about you. Yeah. I love that you see the good in everybody, but I've seen it backfire so many times. What's the definition of gullible?
Let's see. Okay. Hold on, because this is my next. Hey, what's up? You can come back to the back.
Yeah, hold on. Let's look up gullible real quick.
Yep.
Gullible.
Kay is about to come get you.
You gonna do that on mic?
I'm sorry. It's my next.
Easily persuaded to believe something.
We're on that episode, bro.
So,
an attempt to persuade a gullible public to spend their money. Well, you've done that to me. I guess I'm gullible too. Donni, you need to jump on this. You need to jump on this, Donni. Invest in this, Donni.
Okay, we'll talk about that next week. No,
but you are slightly gullible. And
I don't know if I'm gullible.
You just heard me say the definition?
I trust. Yes, I do trust people, but it's not like somebody can sell me a bridge.
Somebody can sell you a bridge.
No, they can't.
If they can prove that bridges is what's popping and what's next, you're investing in the bridge.
Does that make me gullible, or it just makes me an investor? I throw mad stuff at the wall. Listen, when it comes to an investment or something like that, I'm going to obviously do my best to kind of vet it, but I lose some and I win some.
Shans, you got me involved in like 3 investments so far,
which
and
makes
none of them were vetted. No, I trusted you.
Yeah. Right, so I trust the person.
You say he 0 for 3?
What? He's 0 for 3 right now.
Here's the thing. I convinced her to podcast, and it worked out.
And that worked.
It won't always work out.
So you're 1 for 4
then. We've had a bunch of situations where we've made way more money than we've lost. We don't know yet. There's one last situation.
This one situation is pretty major.
But I can't control that.
Okay.
But all right, man. Let's wrap this thing up.
We gotta get out of here.
Yeah. Neo, close us out, man. Yeah. What should someone do right now?
Take action right now. But really, right now, I think you gotta focus in 2023 on execution. Like everything. Like there's so much information going on out here. You need to go get some and just execute on every single day. And my thing is, how can you become better by 1% every day? That's my goal. Like, how can I get better 1% every single day? And at the end of the year, you got 365%. You have just improved, but it's going to take you to be consistent. It's going to take you to get around the right people. As Donni said, it's going to take you to have 6, 7, and 8 figure conversations every day. And it's going to take you to got to really go all in and act as if this is your last year to live.
Yeah.
If you act like that, you're going to be moving different. You're going to be operating different. You're going to be playing at a higher level. So that is my message for you guys. Stay tapped in. Every week we have a masterclass. Go to eventspacemasterclass.com. where we teach people just like you how to open and fund your own profitable event spaces, as well as we got an upcoming event around event spaces, the PassiveIncomeConference.com, I think. And
you got a podcast, man. Tell them about the pod, bro.
Oh, yeah, I got a podcast.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Circle of Greatness, y'all. I believe we're on like episode 10 or 11. We're really 100 and something, but
for sure.
We outside, y'all. So check out our podcast, Circle of Greatness on YouTube. We drop an episode every Tuesday at 9 a.m. We'd love for you guys to tap in. To work with me, go to mastermindwithneo.com. Let's go.
There it is, man. Make sure y'all follow my boy. We out.
We are out.